Hello everybody, welcome back to Screen Stars. The second season of Stranger Things has dropped on Netflix and is available to be binge watched by all who have Netflix. And while I probably won't be binge watching it today and over the weekend, I will probably watch the first 2 or 3 episodes and maybe drop a review for the full season in the coming week. But I have watched the first episode of season 2 and I shall give you my thoughts on it. Now, Stranger Things, the first season that I watched last year, I have to say I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a very original, inventive and clever series. And I thought it was something fresh and new. And it deserved all the praise that it got. However, I don't think it was the best series I've ever seen, I think everybody was just massive up, and that's probably why it failed at the, is it the Emmys, the American ones? It didn't get an Emmy. I think people built it up a little bit too much, and if you actually scratched at the surface and analysed the show, it did have its weaknesses. I think it rides the wave of nostalgia perfectly well, but I don't think it was the best thing since sliced bread. That's just my opinion. However, I have been looking forward to the second season. And in the first episode, which is called Mad Max, we meet all the crew again. We meet all the kids. Will's back. But he is still suffering from his traumatic experience last season. He's having really disturbing visions of the Upside Down. He's seeing like a storm approaching, and it's all quite ominous, really. We also see that he is taken on a regular basis by his mum and the sheriff, played by David Harbour and Winona Ryder, to what they think is to see some kind of psychiatrist, who played by Paul Reiser, who I suspect is going to be the Matthew Modine of this season. And he goes there and gets checked out by Paul Reiser. But in actual fact, it's a front for this deep, dark government thing that we saw last year that Matthew Modine ran. And it would seem that they haven't learned from their mistakes last season, this government agency, because they're still tinkering in the basement. There's still a portal leading to the Upside Down, and we know that it's clearly not going to lead anywhere good. We meet a couple of new characters. We meet a girl called Maxine, or Max as she likes to be called, which is the Mad Max of this title. And she's called Mad Max because the group of kids learn in the arcade that their high scores have gone on their beloved games to somebody called Mad Max, who they learn is this Maxine. So they end up stalking her basically, but I suspect she's going to become part of the gang this season, because I think she's pretty cool because she skateboards, etc. Winona Ryder has a love interest, we learn in this first episode, and it's Sean Astin, who it's still odd to see him in anything but Lord of the Rings as Samwise Gamgee, and he still looks 14 years old, even though he's older than me, I suspect. And it still has that fantastic nostalgia feeling, certainly for me. Now, in 1984, which is when the second season is set, I was 12 years old, so I was very similar to the age of these kids in this film, in this show. So everything that they get excited about, I got excited about at the time. I remember rummaging around and scratching around trying to find change so I could play in the arcades on pretty much all the games they were playing on. Certainly Dragon's Lair, I remember spending a fortune on that. Some of the toys that you saw them playing with, the Millennium Falcon in this episode, I had the very same Millennium Falcon, and I wished I'd saved it. It'd be worth a fortune now. So it really does tap into my childhood, this show, more than anything I think I've ever seen. It's perfect nostalgia. And it really is hitting a nerve for a lot of people, this show, and I'm really looking forward to where this show is going to go. I've kind of got an idea in my head what's going to be happening here, but I'm sure there's going to be a few curveballs thrown at us in this second season, but I do think it's going to be an interesting season, and I'm looking forward to watching the rest of it. But yeah, this is a strong opening to season 2 for sure.